Have you ever wondered why some love stories last a lifetime while others fade away as quickly as they begin? Is love truly unpredictable, or is there something deeper at play? The truth is, people don't fall in love randomly. There are two fundamental reasons why people fall in love with you, and these reasons have been beautifully explained through Zen and Buddhist teachings. In today's video, we will explore these two reasons and discover how understanding them can transform the way you approach relationships. The first reason is temporary and fleeting, often driven by an unmet need or a desire to fill a void. The second reason, however, is more profound and enduring. It's based on recognizing shared values and understanding the essence of your true self. Here's the question: have you ever experienced love that seemed perfect at first but eventually faded, leaving you confused and wondering what went wrong? Or perhaps you found yourself deeply connected to someone without knowing exactly why. Both experiences are valid, but they come from very different places within the heart and mind. What makes this knowledge so powerful is that once you understand the difference between these two reasons, you'll start seeing your relationships, and yourself, in a whole new light. You'll gain the tools to cultivate authentic connections and avoid the trap of temporary, surface-level love. In the next few minutes, we'll dive deeper into these two reasons for love and learn how Zen and Buddhist teachings can help us find clarity and peace in our relationships. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'll share practical ways to recognize these types of love in your life and show you how to nurture the kind that truly lasts. So, if you've ever asked yourself what love really means or how to find lasting connections, you're in the right place. Let's begin this journey of self-discovery together. Love, in the teachings of Zen and Buddhism, is not seen as a random emotion or an uncontrollable force of nature. Instead, love is viewed as a reflection, a mirror that reveals the inner state of the person who gives it. It's not something that happens by chance but something deeply connected to our own inner world. When you understand this, you begin to see love not as a fleeting feeling but as a profound expression of your own self-awareness. Let me share with you a story, a simple but powerful parable called The Seeker and the Silent Wanderer. A seeker once asked a silent wanderer, "Why do people fall in and out of love so easily? One moment, they're deeply in love, and the next, it's gone. Why is that?" The silent wanderer smiled and replied, "Love is like water. When the water is clear and still, it reflects your true self. But when the water is muddy, it only shows the desires and illusions you project onto it. The clearer the water, the clearer the reflection. The same is true for love." This story beautifully illustrates the two types of love we experience in life. When we seek love to fulfill a personal void or need, it's like looking into muddy water. We don't see the other person for who they truly are, we see only what we want or need them to be. This kind of love is temporary because it's built on illusions, and illusions always fade. On the other hand, when we approach love with clarity and self-awareness, it becomes like clear water, a reflection of our true selves. This kind of love is lasting because it's based on mutual recognition and shared values. It's not about seeking something we lack, it's about recognizing something familiar and meaningful in another person. Think about the relationships in your life. Have you ever experienced a connection that felt like it was based on something deeper, something real? Perhaps it didn't rely on grand gestures or constant reassurance, but it felt calm, steady, and true. That's the kind of love Zen and Buddhist teachings encourage us to nurture. When you understand that love is a reflection of your inner state, you stop chasing external validation. You begin to focus on cultivating clarity within yourself, because when your inner world is clear, the love you give and receive will be clear, too. Let's dive deeper into the two fundamental reasons why people fall in love. These reasons may seem simple on the surface, but understanding them can completely change the way you approach relationships. Reason 1: Seeking what they lack. The first reason people fall in love is to fill an inner void. This kind of love is temporary and often arises from a sense of incompleteness. It's driven by an unmet need or a desire to escape from loneliness, insecurity, or emotional emptiness. Imagine someone who has been feeling lonely for a long time. They meet someone who gives them attention and affection, and suddenly, their loneliness seems to disappear. They may mistake this feeling for true love. But in reality, they're not in love with the person, they're in love with how that person makes them feel in the moment. The danger of this kind of love is that it doesn't last. Once the initial excitement fades or the underlying void is filled, the relationship often loses its meaning. The person who was once a solution to their loneliness becomes just another part of their life. The connection weakens because it was never built on something solid. Here's a real-life example. Think of someone who rushes into a relationship right after a breakup, hoping to ease the pain. At first, everything seems perfect. The new relationship feels like a fresh start, a way to forget the past. But after some time, the old feelings resurface, and the relationship starts to crumble. Why? Because the love was never about the new partner, it was about filling the emotional void left by the previous one. This type of love isn't necessarily bad, it's a human response to emotional needs. However, if we're not aware of it, we risk repeating the same patterns, constantly seeking external validation without addressing the root cause of our feelings. Reason 2, recognizing themselves. The second reason people fall in love is far deeper and more enduring. This kind of love isn't about filling a void, it's about recognizing something familiar and meaningful in another person. It's based on shared values, mutual understanding, and a genuine connection that doesn't rely on external circumstances. This is the love that Zen and Buddhist teachings encourage us to seek. It's not about finding someone to complete you, it's about finding someone who reflects your true self. When this happens, the relationship becomes a space for growth and self-discovery rather than a temporary escape from loneliness. Here's a real-life example. Imagine meeting someone who shares your passion for personal growth and values honesty and kindness as much as you do. The connection feels natural and effortless because it's built on mutual respect and understanding. Even during challenging times, the relationship remains strong because it's rooted in something real, something that doesn't change with external circumstances. This kind of love is like a steady flame. It doesn't burn as intensely as the rush of new romance, but it lasts much longer. It provides warmth and light without consuming you. How to identify this type of love? When you meet someone, ask yourself, do I feel whole and at peace in their presence? Is our connection based on shared values, or is it driven by a need for validation? Am I growing as a person through this relationship? If the answers point toward mutual respect, shared values, and personal growth, you're likely experiencing the second type of love, the kind that endures. Why this distinction matters? Understanding the difference between these two types of love can save you from unnecessary heartbreak. It helps you recognize when you're falling into the trap of seeking external validation and encourages you to focus on building genuine connections. When you understand these two reasons, you stop chasing fleeting emotions and start nurturing deeper, more meaningful relationships. You begin to see love not as something you seek but as something that naturally arises when you meet the right person, someone who mirrors your inner world. Self-awareness, the foundation of authentic love. If there's one thing you take away from this video, let it be this: true love begins with self-awareness. Without understanding yourself, your desires, fears, and motivations, it's almost impossible to build a healthy and lasting relationship. Why? Because when you don't know who you are, you end up projecting your unmet needs and insecurities onto your partner, expecting them to fill the gaps within you. Self-awareness is about recognizing your own patterns and being honest with yourself. It's not always easy, but it's crucial. Ask yourself, what am I looking for in love? Am I seeking validation or companionship? Do I feel whole on my own, or am I waiting for someone to make me feel complete? Here's a practical exercise. Take a few moments every day to reflect on your relationships and your emotions. Write them down in a journal. Notice any recurring patterns, situations where you've sought love to avoid loneliness or times when you've entered relationships out of fear of being alone. Awareness is the first step toward change. Recognition, not pursuit. One of the biggest misconceptions about love is that it's something you need to chase. We've all been conditioned to believe that finding love is a goal, something to actively pursue, like a prize. But the truth is, the more you chase love, the more it eludes you. True love doesn't come from pursuit, it comes from recognition. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, love will naturally appear. Not because you're searching for it, but because you've created space for it to find you. Imagine this, you're walking through a forest, looking for the most beautiful flower. The more desperately you search, the harder it is to find. But when you stop, breathe, and simply observe, the flower appears right in front of you. Love works the same way. So, what does recognition mean in relationships? It means seeing and accepting the other person for who they truly are, not for what they can offer you or how they can complete you. It's about mutual respect and shared growth, not filling a personal void. Observing motivations, why do they love you? This brings us to an important question: how do you know if someone loves you for who you are, or if they're seeking to fill their own emptiness? The answer lies in observing motivations. Ask yourself, does this person love me for my essence, or for the way I make them feel? Do they support my growth and individuality, or do they expect me to fulfill their emotional needs? Are they comfortable with who I am, or are they trying to change me to fit their expectations? When someone loves you for who you truly are, they don't try to mold you into their ideal version. They encourage your growth and celebrate your individuality. This kind of love feels freeing, not confining. Real-life example: imagine you're in a relationship with someone who truly supports your dreams and ambitions. They don't hold you back or make you feel guilty for pursuing your passions. Instead, they celebrate your successes and help you become the best version of yourself. That's the kind of love that lasts. Building authentic relationships. Once you've cultivated self-awareness and started focusing on self-growth rather than pursuit, you'll notice a significant change in your relationships. People will be drawn to your authenticity, not your neediness. You'll attract those who are on a similar journey of growth and self-awareness, creating connections that are meaningful and lasting. Remember, love is not a race to be won, it's a reflection of the work you've done within yourself. When you focus on becoming whole, love finds you effortlessly. We've covered a lot today, so let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned. Love is not just a fleeting emotion or a random event, it's a mirror that reflects our inner state. There are two fundamental reasons why people fall in love: the desire to fill an internal void and the recognition of shared values and true connection. Temporary love arises when we seek someone to fill a gap within us, a sense of loneliness, fear, or insecurity. While it may feel powerful at first, it often fades once the void is filled or the excitement wears off. But enduring love, the kind that truly lasts, comes from self-awareness and mutual recognition. This love isn't about finding someone to complete you, it's about recognizing a kindred spirit who reflects your own values and growth. The key takeaway is this: true love begins with knowing and accepting yourself. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, love will come naturally, not because you're chasing it, but because you've created the right space for it to enter your life. Imagine how your relationships would change if you stopped seeking external validation and instead nurtured your own growth. The connections you form would be deeper, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. When you're at peace with yourself, the love you give and receive is no longer a need but a gift, a true reflection of your inner wholeness. So, I encourage you, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Practice self-awareness, cultivate clarity in your inner world, and trust that true love will appear when you're ready to recognize it. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share your experience. Let me know in the comments how you've approached love in the past and how you plan to cultivate more meaningful relationships in the future. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on self-growth, philosophy, and building healthier relationships. Together, we can continue to grow, learn, and create a more meaningful life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, take care, stay true to yourself, and remember, the most profound love begins within.